everyone, and welcome to Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. In the news, a monument on Celebration Plaza was toppled and heavily damaged Monday evening. Sulphur Springs police took a juvenile into custody for criminal mischief. The juvenile was turned over to juvenile probation. The damaged monument was a project of the late Robert Carpenter and honored the 49th Armored Division of the Army National Guard, according to Hopkins County Veterans Memorial Chair Pam Elliott. The Veterans Memorial Group plans to replace the monument, which is expected to cost $10,000 to $15,000 to redo. The public's help is needed to assure that all the names on the monument are replaced. When the monument toppled from its base, it broke into mostly large pieces, but some of the names in the middle of the monument were destroyed. Ms. Elliott is hoping someone has a picture of the monument that includes all of those names. A 44-year-old Killeen man wanted in Mississippi for kidnapping was arrested in Sulphur Springs Monday night. Hopkins County Sheriff's deputy and canine handler T. Colt Patterson stopped a vehicle at 8:30 Monday night on I-30 at the 126 mile marker. Deputy Patterson said that he stopped the vehicle because its license plate number was not visible. During the stop, the lawman learned about the outstanding warrant. Odell Fonta Kimmons of Killeen was arrested and was taken to the Hopkins County Jail. A red letter day for the Wildcat Band at the UIL Area Marching Contest last Saturday. Details from Wildcat Band Director Spencer Emmert.
Saturday, the band traveled to Mesquite for area, and it was a great day. The kids had a great show. We ended up marched real early. We were the 5th band overall. And it was cold and windy. And if you know anything about Mesquite Memorial Stadium, the wind can swirl down in that bowl. Fortunately, we had a performance there earlier in the year, so we knew a little bit about the idiosyncrasies of the actual stadium, so that helped us. But the kids had a great show. We ended up and placed 13th. Our goal was our ultimate goal was hopefully to eke in there at that 10th spot. We felt like that was a chance. This year, as we're building the program, which would have qualified the band for the finals. Incidentally, the band has never before made the finals in its history. So that would have been a great mark, but really, really awesome was the fact that they ended up at 13th overall, which was the highest in school history. So that's been great. And so I believe they qualified just a few times before Mr. McCauley arrived in the late 90s. And then since he was here, there were some ups and downs as far as the placement goes. But we're going to confirm that. But right now we're claiming that we are the highest in school history and feel like that is correct. And it was just a great, great day for the band.
All right. And so now I guess you'll move on to other things, but you'll still have your football performances. Will that show a change over the last 2 weeks, or you'll maintain the show?
More than likely, we're going to keep our show right where it is for the next 2 weeks, and that's typically the practice through the end of regular season. The band would typically kind of change the show or move it to more of a spirit-orientated show as we move into playoffs. So for the last 2 weeks of the season this year, we're probably going to keep our show right where it's at. Those kids have worked so hard on that show, and I think it's neat to get to do the whole show, especially at senior night. Our seniors want to be able to do that, and so that's our plan at this point. And so we have kind of started beginning the process of starting our concert band season. We do have a Veterans Day program coming up that'll be important, and so we're excited for that. But all in all, the staff and I met after area, and we talked about just the progress and where we are at this point. And to see the progress that we've made with a new staff year 2, it has just really, really been satisfying, exciting, and encouraging. Our students, I think, are really, really excited for the future. And like we told our seniors last Saturday, unfortunately, they won't get to be a part of what's to come in marching band, but they have set forth such a great legacy and such a great a new norm that I think that they can really look back on that and hold the chest out high. And in previous programs, I've seen that. I've seen that first year senior class of kind of a new wave of success and momentum. They kind of look at the resulting results later on as, hey, I was a real big part of that. So it's kind of a cool thing.
And the good scores for the marching season takes us into when you come in for spring, have a shot at that sweepstakes. We always like that.
Correct, and that's the ultimate award. And we tell our kids the sweepstakes trophy is just about the biggest trophy in UIL. It's only just an inch or two smaller than a state football championship trophy, believe it or not. Wow. And because of that, we feel like it's a big accomplishment, and the state recognizes that. To make a one in marching, all the work that it takes, and then to segue into concert band, and then of course that sight reading is always a challenge in and of itself, and a special opportunity for the kids to have a new evaluation and something that they don't get to prepare. It is a special thing, and so we're really, really excited for what's to come and to see what's happening. Our next big thing is actually all region auditions. That happens in the fall. It will be in December. And those students that place within the top 1, 2, or 3 chairs of their instrument, depending on what they play, will qualify for the area contest, which is in Richardson. They'll audition against the top students from all the regions in our area, much like we competed against those schools last Saturday in marching band, but they'll be on an individual basis for a shot at all-state band. Our all-state clinic is in February. And it's a really cool thing. The students get to travel to San Antonio and spend a week and get to be in one of the best bands in the state. And so that's a special thing, too, and that's our next focus.
With all that, those that think that when marching season winds down, the band just kind of relaxes, they just keep on going, don't they?
That is correct, yeah. We kind of look at the band season and the band year in seasons. We have our marching season, then we get into all region season, we call it, which also includes Veterans Day and Christmas. Then we go into our solo and ensemble season, which is early spring, and that's area auditions for those students that qualified, and we start our solo and ensemble preparations. And then we get into concert and sight reading for UIL, which is typically in April. And then a 5th season for us this year, we'll be preparing after that for our Orlando trip, which the students will be performing and participating in a clinic with a Disney clinician and involved in a recording session there at Orlando, which will be something new.
Very good.
Children and their families are welcome at Treat Street this Halloween night. That's Central Baptist Church on Conley Street. Let's find out more from Pastor Chris Stevens.
It's amazing how the Lord has blessed our ministry. Over the last year, we've started a new kids ministry on Sunday night at 6 o'clock. The Awana program was great, but it had kind of dwindled a little bit. And now we've started what is called Extreme Kids. And we'll run 60 kids on Sunday night as they learn Bible verses, enjoy snacks, have a story time, and play games. It's just amazing what God is doing there on Sunday nights with our kids. Of course, we have our Wink. That's our Wednesday night kids program, and they run probably 20-25 on Wednesday night. As a matter of fact, in November, they're going to be doing a Thanksgiving program for us on a Sunday morning. They're going to be singing Thanksgiving songs and having a lot of fun. I'm so proud of Melinda and the job she does with our kids. It's amazing. And we have a new youth pastor. His name is Benji Edwards, and he was a missionary in New Zealand. And he's here now with our youth, he and his wife, and 3 kids. As a matter of fact, he just had a baby born. I think she's 3 months old now, maybe 4, and they're doing a great job. Our youth group is growing, and our church itself is growing. The unity, the love, the atmosphere is just phenomenal with what God is doing. So I'm thankful to be at Central Baptist. And I'm thankful for God allowing me to be in Sulphur Springs to meet wonderful folks like you and KSST. And I always have my radio on. I was listening this morning as I was coming in, and you said, and the pastor of Central Baptist Church will be there. And I said, who's that? And then I remembered it was me.
There's lots of good things going on at Central Baptist now, and we want to tell about Treat Street.
Oh, yes. This coming Thursday night, years ago, they started what's called Trunk or Treat. And when we came here, we talked about doing a trunk or treat, but I didn't like the idea of it being trunk or treat. I like the idea of it being a treat street, where you line up and it's just like a street of fun and candy and family, and you just go through. And it rained so hard last year.
I remember
you
that.
remember that? We moved it inside to our Family Life Center, and we had 27 booths instead of 27 cars. We had 27 booths set up with candy and games and our bounce houses, and we had food and popcorn, and we had over 1,000 people come through last year.
Wow.
It was phenomenal. We started them in the auditorium, brought them through the auditorium, down the hallway into the fellowship hall. We had a photo booth. We had a place to scare the kids real good. I mean, it was just a lot of fun. So at the end of it, we began to think what we could do this year and how we could make it bigger and better. And that's what the Lord has allowed us to do. I have an amazing staff. They have the great ideas. And so we've got it lined up this year. I believe we have 25 booths, and the sheriff's department is going to be there.
Oh, really?
We're so excited about having them as part of our Treat Street and all of the things that they're going to do. I asked Brother Lewis the other day, I said, what are y'all going to do? He said, preacher, I can't tell you, but it's going to be fun. And it's just so exciting. And it'll run from 6 to 8. And it'll be cold outside, but it'll be warm inside. It'll be an opportunity to families to have safe, fun, and I don't like the term trick or treat. I just like safe, fun treating. Because we're not going to trick you, we're going to treat you.
Well, yes, you said cold, and this Thursday evening I think we're going to have a drop in temperature.
Yes.
It'll be just exactly right for setting the mood for the holiday and the start of a brand new month the next day.
Yes, ma'am, it sure is. And of course, this is time change. And somebody told me the other day, said, boy, I wish I could turn time back. Well, you can this Sunday.
We can.
You can fall back 1 hour. And so I want to encourage everybody to remember that and just get involved somewhere this week telling others about Christ. Whether it's at Central Baptist at our Treat Street or whether it's one of the trunk or treats that are going on around town, share Christ at this time of year. Make sure that they know that Jesus loves them because the world's had it long enough. It's time for Christians to step up and make a difference.
The world is indeed a scary place, and even it was when we knew that there were things to be afraid of when we were children, but I just wonder how they see it through their eyes now.
Oh,
they don't know.
yes.
They can't compare it to when we were.
Oh, it is such a difficult place. I have 4 daughters, and we have 13 grandkids, and raising my daughters was tough, but I pray for my daughters every day because they're raising their kids, and it's a totally different world. And I'm so thankful that we have the firm foundation of Jesus Christ. And on Sunday mornings at church, I'm preaching through the life of Joseph. This Sunday, I told everybody, hey, we're putting him in a pit because sometimes life is the pit. And that's it, and that's what we're going to do. And then on Sunday night, I started a series on the book of Job. So we're talking about 2 men in the Bible who went through some of the most difficult things and still followed and obeyed God and loved him, even in the midst of the most wicked situations and the most difficult times. Joseph, just did what God told him to do. Job, in all of this, he sinned not nor charged God foolishly. And in our lives, every day, we go through those things. And we have to have that foundation to take care of us. And that's what we're talking about on Sunday mornings. And I just encourage, like I said, folks to get involved in church somewhere. Central Baptist Church isn't for everybody. Dr. Chris isn't for everybody, but God is. And we're not in competition. We're in working together to tell our world of Christ. So whether you're at Central Baptist this Thursday or whether you go to another trunk or treat, just get out and enjoy family time and have fun and love Christ.
Speaking of coming to Central Baptist, though, if someone would like to visit, tell us about the times of worship and also your music. You mentioned your music earlier.
Right. We have two services on Sunday morning. We have a 9:30, which is our life groups, and it's age-oriented sometimes. I think we have 5 different adult classes. We have 4 different children's classes, and we have our teenagers, and that's at 9:30. And then at 10:30, we have our morning worship, and we do a blended service. We do hymns, and we do praise and worship, because everybody loves something a little different. And church is not about what I want or what I like. It's about glorifying God in everything we do. So we do a blended service. We'll sing a couple of hymns, and then we will sing some praise and worship, and somebody will sing a special. This past Sunday, during the offering, I sat at the piano and did a Rob and Mark song called "How Great Are You, Lord," and talked about the greatness and of his love and his mercy. And then again, I'm preaching at 10. I usually get in the pulpit about 10 minutes till 11, and we're usually out by 11:30, and we beat everybody to the restaurants. Yes, we get there to eat early.
Central Baptist Church is a beautiful church, and in the last several years, it has been blessed to expand.
Yes, ma'am. Brother Rhodes was there for 28 years, did a phenomenal job. And then Brother Bruce came in, and he was there for 5 years and did a great job, and now they're stuck with me. No, I'm just kidding, but the Lord has allowed me to be there, and we've been able to see some things implemented and to see some uniting of hearts, where we're at one church with one heart and one vision, following Christ where he would have us to be. It's just great. We have a children's wing, we have our auditorium, we have the fellowship hall, and I would never neglect CCA. That is a great arm of Central Baptist Church, where we have kids from K3 all the way through 6th grade, where we're teaching them reading, writing, and arithmetic through the Word of God. And that Central Christian Academy, and Miss Kathy Vance is our principal administrator. She is great. And I'd encourage anybody that would like to get their children in a Christian environment with a Christian education to give her a call.
Also, I had initially called up Pinky over at the Sheriff's Department to ask them if they were doing some, giving out candy or whatever on Halloween evening, and she referred me straight to you. Sheriff's Department is going to be at Treat Street.
Yes, ma'am. They, from what I understand, and they're being real kind of secretive about this, but I believe they're going to actually have 5 booths set up as around our fellowship hall, which I know we will have 25 or 26, and then they will have theirs, and one whole section will just be Sheriff Tatum and Miss Pinky and all of those folks involved in that area. I'm looking forward to what they're going to do. I'm not sure. Last year we had some of the costumes included Snow White. Snow White. Some of them included Little Red Riding Hood. Some of them included Dorothy and Toto and Kansas. And my folks come up with some great ideas. So it's exciting to see what they're going to do this year.
Well, and so the Sheriff's Department also suggests to go to Treat Street at Central Baptist Church as a place, a safe, fun place for Halloween.
Yes, ma'am. It's a safe, fun, family-centered event.
In sports, Miller Grove and Saltillo continue their excellence in cross country and both qualified for the state meet at the Region 3 Class 1A meet Monday at the Jesse Owens Sports Complex in Dallas. Miller Grove Hornets and Lady Hornets won both the regional competitions. For the Hornets, sophomore Isaiah Billingsley led the way, winning the race with a time of 15 minutes, 20.56 seconds. Junior Kobe Robertson was second. Sophomore Lance Verner Davis was fourth. Freshman Riley Haston was sixth. Sophomore Tanner Hensley was seventh. Sophomore Lexton Sly was 13th. And freshman Anthony Lester was 14th. The first place Miller Grove Lady Hornets were led by junior Georgia Bessonette with a time of 11 minutes, 50.21 seconds. Freshman Kylie Melton was second. Junior Jolie Fox was fourth. Freshman Kaylee Saldana was 10th. And junior Lauren Bullard was 14th. The Saltillo Lions were runner-up to Miller Grove, and the Lady Lions finished third as a team. For the Lions, junior Garrett Tarver led the way with a third-place finish in 16 minutes, 10.14 seconds. Senior Dylan Beadle was fifth. Freshman Gunnar Tarver was ninth. Freshman Coy Collins was 11th. Junior Jaden Holloway was 17th. Freshman Beckham Hoover was 20th. And sophomore Andrew Redburn was 32nd. For the Lady Lions, sophomore Reagan Spear was 16th with a time of 13 minutes, 38.46 seconds. Junior Christina Wade was 21st. Freshman Yadira Alonzo was 25th. Sophomore Brianna Towell was 27th. Freshman Mackenzie Morris was 40th. Senior Jocelyn Ochoa was 53rd. And Ophelia Cabrera was 62nd. The Miller Grove and Saltillo runners will be competing at the state meet to be held November 9th at Old Settlers Park in Round Rock. Well, it's Coordinator Tuesday. Wildcats offensive coordinator Matt Young comments on the offense against Greenville last Friday in the rain, and then tells us about the Kaufman defense the Wildcats will face on the road this Friday.
The guys did some good things. We came out early in the game and got a couple first downs, came up short. Little things where you make it, Dietrich Clayton makes a good catch, but when he turns to make a move, he doesn't get the yard we need. The play before, ball's a little bit underthrown, and we get tackled immediately instead of catching and turning and getting the first. Just everything's just kind of nip and tuck. We have a ball go off our hands. And Caden Wallace playing well early. I think he was 5 out of 7, maybe 6 or 7 his first attempts, and ends up throwing a bad pick on a third down and ends up getting injured. And so we got to turn to our backup. No, he hadn't played a lot at quarterback, just starting receiver for us. Done a great job there. And came in. We went to a bigger package that we hadn't used maybe 2 or 3 snaps the last 4 or 5 games. We've been working, having it ready. And really with the elements, it turned out good. Went down, marched down the field. Chalk Sims, a big run. The right side with Gio Pisano. Those guys opened it up. And then Caden Davis got us in the end zone with a good run. And kind of made the game, I think, 13-10 at that time. Or 7-6, actually had the lead. They got it back, drove down again, had a third down inside the 10, and have a chance for a zone read we give when we could pull and end up getting stopped. They kind of had us outnumbered on that side. Is why you want to pull and go the other way. So settle for a field goal. Kids are doing good things, playing a lot of bodies. One shout out to Cameron Coffert. He played, I don't know how much he plays defensively. I'm assuming almost every snap, but he played almost every snap the second half with us when we went into this heavy package that we go to, and along with Carson Fenton. So it really gave us some options there as we varied formations with our overload, having extra linemen on the field. Come out the second half, get another march down the field. Noe Ponce had a good run. Made a throw. Colin Wade made a nice catch on a contested third down. It kind of got that drive going. Got down 3rd and 2 with a chance to go score a touchdown, which I think at the time would have given us, it's 19-10 at that time. Would have been nice to have a touchdown, and end up trying to break outside instead of getting north, and settle for a field goal. 19-13, that's really all we're able to muster. Later in the game, we went to a little bit more passing stuff as we through the game, just kind of making sure Noe things he was comfortable with, and just kind of unsuccessful to get things going. They made the adjustments to the heavy package, and we knew we couldn't stay in it all game, but we used it some, and it was helpful. And the guys up front did a good job. Steven Janitis, Radon McCormick, Alfredo, Ryan Hammonds, Chandler Leo, all those guys did a good job. And I thought Cade and Chalk both ran extremely hard. We had 2 picks. We had the one early that was returned for a touchdown. That hurt a lot. The one late wasn't. But, for the elements, took care of the ball for the most part. And really just not doing enough to get the win. Not making the play when we get down there on third down. Not making a block on a big call. And the kids are fighting. The kids are doing a good job. I'm proud of these seniors, how they work. Just would like to get a win.
Sure, no doubt about it. Now you've got Kaufman, and how do they impress you on the defensive side?
Big and strong up front. They're going to be a challenge for our big boys, just to handle them in run and pass pro. They rotate different bodies, but they got 3 or 4 guys that are seniors that are back from that team last year that was really good, that are going to give us some fits and really make a mess inside. They got a big middle linebacker pulling, plays quarterback. Again, really physical, and then their guys on the back end are really fast, and they're not afraid to man you up quite frequently. So they're going to limit space in the windows to throw and catch. So it comes down to us. I think we'll have some success moving the ball. It comes down just when we get inside the 10 that we finish the drive for us to be successful Friday.
Wildcats defensive coordinator Alex Goetta gives us a preview of the Kaufman offense the Wildcats will see this Friday in Kaufman. But first, he tells us about the defensive play last Friday night at the Prim against Greenville.
I'm pretty pleased with their effort. They did a really good job from the front to the backside, so everybody did well.
147 yards, 1 touchdown. That's about, you'd like that every week, I guess.
Oh, gosh, it'd be awesome. We continue to get that effort the next 2 weeks. Like I said, the kids have been working hard, no quitting them, so very proud of them.
Hard to call a name. Coach Owens on Saturday, he mentioned about everybody on the defense.
Yeah, the whole front did well, but then the second half, obviously the weather was bad. They didn't throw or complete a pass. They did a good job. It's hard to say just one guy. It was a total team effort defensively.
All right. Now you got Kaufman. I know they've got a big quarterback back there, 250 pounds. I think he played a little bit maybe as kind of a wildcat back or something last year, but he's a handful. Yeah,
he came in last year, threw a couple good passes actually, and ran the ball for them. He's a big boy. He just got to stay low and tackle him low. And I think after playing Ennis, their big old running back, we learned that we need to stay low and cut them.
What else do they have on their offense?
Really good receiver. They have really good running back. They have 2 good receivers actually. A really good running back that runs hard and he's fast. If he gets loose, it's going to be hard to catch. So I think they're pretty solid overall.
Those seniors on your defense, they're not guaranteed more than just 2 more games, and so you got to go out there and enjoy these.
Yeah, I'm trying to make it fun for those guys. Just let them know that some of them maybe the last time they put pads on. So they came in with a great attitude yesterday, and I anticipate that the next 2 weeks.
The Sulphur Bluff volleyball team won at Detroit on Friday 3-1. The Lady Bears took the first 2 sets 25-20 and 25-23. Detroit won the third set 25-21, but the Lady Bears took set 4 and the match 25-20. For Sulphur Bluff, Allie Colette had 14 service points, 2 kills, 35 assists, and 1 block. Delina Di Donato had 11 kills and 2 service points. Jada Wade had 4 service points and 6 kills. Tori Rainey had 7 service points, 6 kills, and 1 assist. Skylar Stanley had 7 blocks and 10 kills. Ann Dorner had 7 service points, 8 kills, and 1 assist. Sierra Johnson had 11 service points, including 4 aces and 2 kills. Hannah Bird had 6 service points. Angel Brown had 1 kill and 10 digs. The Lady Bears wrap up district play against Maud at home on Tuesday. The Lady Bears will be honoring their 4 seniors on senior night. Lady Bears will have a warm-up game for the playoffs Friday at home against Como-Picton. Sulphur Bluff will be playing Yantis next week in a by-district match. One more volleyball note from last Friday. Miller Grove defeated Fruitvale, the score 25-6, 25-12, and 25-17. And that's Channel 18 TV News. I'm Don Julian. Thank you for watching, and so long, everybody.